We doing it? Okay, good. All right, y'all. What's up? We back. Episode 3 of the Challenge USA. This is a good episode as well. It's been pretty good. So let's just jump on into it. Thumbs up the video, drop the comments down below. Subscribe if you have not already. These videos don't do that hype, but it's all right. I like talking about the show, so I don't have any issue with the views. But thumbs up the video, drop the comments down below. I will jump in because I need to get better at that. But yeah, let's go. All right, so we come back to the house. Tori won the elimination. Michaela wanted Tori out, but she's just happy about the fact that another vet is gone, and she wants to keep at this same rate, just getting each vet in and getting them out. Just keep getting them out until they're all gone, and then she can worry about the rest of them. Tori's upset because she was hopeful that her and Amanda would actually work together. She knows that Amanda voted her in, and Amanda's confused as to why she's upset because she's like, girl, you know we're not friends. I'm not your fake friend. I'm not going to act like I want to work with you because you know I don't. You know I don't like you. So they're going back and forth, and then Tori's saying, like, it's not even about that. It's about the fact that Jonna went home because of you, and you're a vet, she's a vet. Amanda don't care. She wanted Tori to go home, and she told her that. She was like, I wanted you to go home. I didn't want Jonna to go home, but I thought Jonna was going to be able to beat you, but she didn't. But whatever, it is what it is. Like, Amanda's not worried about it. Tori is. So then we get in the other room because Chanelle and them are hearing this argument going on. And Chanelle, Desi, Tiffany, Michaela, Michele, and the Alyssas, they're all happy about a vet being gone. So they're trying to make sure that they get them all out first before they start worrying about each other. And Desi gives us a breakdown of how the alliance happened. She started off with Chanelle, Tiffany, and Michaela. But since Tiffany's close with Alyssa L is close with Alyssa S, and then Michele is a survivor girl. So that's how they all ended up like merging together, making this big super alliance. So it is what it is. They got their bases covered. So in the other scene, which is the next day, Bananas, Wes, and Cory, they outside working out and whatever. Bananas was pretty much saying to Wes and Cory that it was a wake-up call, like seeing that the vets are down there, everybody keeps targeting the vets. Cory's saying, like, my number one in this game is Fessy. He knows that he wants to work with Wes and Bananas, but he knows that they're outnumbered in terms of the MTV vets, and he knows they ain't never had his back, so he's not really attached to the idea of having to work with them the way they are. They're like hell-bent on knowing that they need each other. Cory don't really care because Cory done make connections outside of the vets, which is smart. Like, why would I attach myself with y'all when I already know y'all days are numbered? I could be trying to make connections because Fessy got a connection, being a big brother person. So it's like it's smarter to do that than to be stuck with them. And we'll get on that later. We get another scene of Paulie. Paulie sitting in the room with Tori talking about how he wanted to be some gay icon. Freddie Mercury, I think, is the singer that he said was his favorite or whatever, saying that he was watching him and wanted to be like him, but had to suppress his own sexuality, leading to his anger issues when he came on the show, wanting to feel like he had to be a super alpha, whatever, all this stuff. And he said it's his first time playing without a chip on his shoulder. Tori's proud of him and is willing to work with him. Paulie's saying that he was able to put his shit aside with him and Johnny and Josh and whatever. All this, okay, whatever. In terms of his personal growth and what he's found out about himself, or at least came to terms with, good for him. Like, good for you. It's always great to see people step into their own. So cool, good for him. But the whole Johnny and Josh shit, corny. Like, stay at home. Like, Paulie is not Paulie. Paulie ain't the same Paulie, which in a way, in terms of like a mental and outside of the game, that's good for him. But on the show, you're not entertaining anymore. Like, I hate it. But it is what it is. That's who he is. So whatever. They ended up heading to the daily challenge, which is called Capsized, which is they got a boat out in the middle of what looks to be the ocean, I think. And they got 8 buoys out there. So the objective is for them to jump out, swim to the boat, capsize it because there's an answer key underneath it. They cannot swim under and look at it because that would be cheating, essentially. So they have to flip it. And one at a time, they have to swim back to the buoy to get the flag that's underneath it and bring it back. So every player must swim out at least once to that buoy. And then the team that gets the most right and does it the fastest wins. I'm gonna fly through this because whatever. The red team was first up. Tiffany hated it because it's two things that she don't like: swimming and memory, and it's all at the same time. And she can't swim, so that was funny. Michele and Paulie and Bananas, they're pretty much in charge of the memory. Everybody else is doing the flipping. Josh is sitting there talking about he's noticing Paulie's growth because apparently he's doing a good job leading the team. Josh, you ain't got a leg to stand on talking about somebody's growth because you ain't really grown at all. But the red team, your strategy seems to be working for the most part until Michele ends up questioning herself because she ends up getting one of the flags wrong, or at least one of the flags wrong. What am I talking about? But they start getting frustrated to the point where it starts to slow them up a little bit, but they ended up finishing it. Blue team, they was like an oil machine. They ended up moving quick and cohesively. They had things strategized. They had girls memorizing certain amounts where it was like 5 and 5 to where it was easier for them. They finished it pretty quickly. The green team ended up looking like they were the worst, honestly. And green team is my favorite because they got more people on that team that I like. But they ended up finishing it. The scores come out. Green team had 19 out of 20 flags, but blue and red got all 20 correct. So it came down to time. The blue team had a time of 36 minutes and 12 seconds. The red team had a time of 43 minutes and 8 seconds, which means the blue team won. So the blue team is safe. They go back to the house to nominate one man and one woman to put at risk for elimination, because as we all know, it's no guarantee until that hopper happens. So Alyssa Big Head is happy to be safe, but she's not really that happy because she doesn't know who to trust on her team, which means she could be happy about her being safe, but she wants to make sure that she gets somebody out that is in the way of her winning the money. So that's why she's concerned about her team, which is rightfully so. Cory is willing to make deals. So him and Alyssa are sitting there trying to strike a deal because he feels alone. He's worried about the vets and he don't want to go down with a sinking ship. Smart. Like Cory's playing a better game every single time he gets back on the show, which is why I love that he don't come back every single season, which is the way it should be. Like the people that overdo it and come back 50 million times, you need to stay at home. You overdo it and you what's the word? Like you know what I'm trying to say. Like your welcome is too present to the point where we don't care to see you anymore. You overstayed your welcome. There it is. I'm like, why can I not think of the word? But Cory exemplifies what it is to actually come back, and people actually like watching him come back because we don't see him every single season. With the blue team, they go into their deliberation. Tori's trying to protect the vets, as she normally always does, which is why I can't stand her and can't stand watching her play the game. But Alyssa is hearing about how the house is wanting it to be a male elimination day because the first two girls were the first two to go home. So it's time to get a man out of here. So Tori's chiming in, talking about how the direct shots that happened last week with the vets was shots at her, saying that she knows for a fact people in her team voted for Jonna, and she took it as a direct shot. And Alyssa, I don't like her, but she she shot her down and slid her because she said, don't think about it as direct. Maybe people just wanted Jonna out because not everything is about you. And I was like, get her. And everybody, and Bessie was looking like, ooh. And Cory was looking like, did she just slide her? She did. She did. Alyssa did. But Alyssa ends up starting to vote. And you can tell Alyssa is kind of like spearheading this. Like she got control of this deliberation. Chris notices it too. She says she wants Bananas in there. Tori said she wanted Monte. The other Alyssa was backing Alyssa, saying that she wanted Bananas. Chris was just going with the flow. He said Bananas. And then Tori starts talking about the girls, and Cory's like, I'm sure you probably want to throw in Amanda. And she's like, nah, I got bigger fish to fry, which is logical because she knows there's certain girls over there that's going to make her run to the money even harder, which is why she voted for Desi. Sebastian's punk ass, and I don't like him because he's too busy trying to ride up under Tori, which blindly cater for the vets, which you know good and darn well they got more experience than you. And when it comes down to it, if it was y'all at the end of the day, you're not beating them. So why are you sitting here trying to make the game easier for somebody who just won money? Tori. I don't like him at all. Cassidy voted for Bananas and Amanda. Alyssa ended up voting for Amanda and Bananas. Alyssa did the same thing. Chris did the same thing, except he voted for Tiffany instead of Amanda. Whack. Tori voted for Monte and Desi. Whack. on the women's side. Monte, he can go. I don't care. Who else? Fessy voted for Bananas and Michele. We'll talk about Fessy later on. Cory was the last one to vote because he also feels like he's on an island and he feels like he's at the bottom of the Vets Alliance. So he's like, I'm gonna make a move. Like, it's time for me to make a move, show where I'm at, and let them know I'm playing the game and I'm playing my game. So he ends up voting for Bananas and Amanda, 2 MTV vets. So those are the votes. Alyssa and them go out there and put the stuff up there. Tori is annoyed because she feels like her voice means nothing, and she ends up telling Bananas that they're basically going to end up getting picked off. And I found it funny too because I'm like, I'm glad your voice means nothing. I'm glad that you finally get a taste of your own medicine because that's typically how you and your vacation alliance run shit over there on the main show. Like, nobody gets a chance to have a voice because y'all outnumber everybody and y'all sitting there trying to cape for everybody. I'm glad the worlds are reversing. That's why I'm enjoying this season. But like I said, they end up going in there telling them they're about to get picked off. Wes sitting there asking about Fessy and Cory, like, how did they vote? Did they even try to help you out? And Tori was like, no, it wasn't even that hard for them. They voted for whoever they voted for, which was the vets. Cory's voice is gone. And Bananas decides to take it upon himself to start calling them bitches and start getting aggressive with them. And Cory is fighting back, but his voice is gone. And so it's kind of funny. And it's kind of irritating, too, because it's like, darn, he can't even get his voice out. He can't even say anything. He's saying it, but he can't really say what he's trying to say and not sound like he's getting drowned out because his voice is gone and Bananas in there screaming. But he's saying they were outnumbered. Cory said that he ain't attaching himself to no sinking ship. And I'm like, exactly. Like, why the fuck would I? Banana starts taking shots at them, saying that's why Cory has never won. You just mad because Cory's not your lapdog and he's not your bitch. Like, Cory's playing the game the way Cory's going to play the game. Cory ain't never been your bitch. So why are you mad thinking that he was going to vote for you? Cory, from my knowledge, from the history, Cory ain't never played the game for Bananas. Cory has always been trying to get Bananas out, aka Team Young Buck. Like, let's keep it real. And then Bananas ends up saying, Josh ended up saying that Cory and Fessy don't have common sense because they're not voting with a fucking sinking ship. What are you talking about? Just because you got their dick in your mouth the whole time does not mean that everybody else is supposed to be thinking that way. Like, there's 5 vets opposed to everybody else. Why would Cory and Fessy attach themselves to the 5 vets that are outnumbered? Like, make it make sense. Josh, who was about to say a word that I should not be saying? But he is slow, like slow bus, like driving it. I hate Josh. I hate him. I can't stand him. But Bananas ends up directing his energy to Fessy. And Fessy, boy, I can't stand Fessy. But Fessy had me in this thing. I was like, yes. Bananas talking about saying, what planet do you live on? Fessy said, I live on my own. I was like, yes, that would be me. And he's tired of Banana shit. And that's what he said. I'm tired of you and your shit because we just making moves and you mad because we're not following what you want us to do. And we're not sitting out here putting our cape on for you. Like, you mad about it. And he's saying how he don't owe Banana shit at all. He's playing his own game. And Banana's sitting there saying that Fessy's dumber than he looked. And Fessy said, at least I'm winning shit. You on the red team and you ain't winning nothing. You mad because you're not winning and I'm not doing what you want me to do when I have the power. And it's just like, yeah, like, that's why you mad. And don't be mad because I'm not doing what you want me to do. And I was like, yes, I agree. Like, Cory and Fessy, I was like, yes. And it's crazy when you got me rooting for Fessy. But Bananas is sitting there throwing a bitch fit, a pity me bitch fit the whole time to anybody that wanted to listen. And of course, Paulie and Dusty are the 2 sitting in there listening. Paulie is such a disappointment this season. Like, came back like a lapdog. Like, Cara Maria would never do this. That's why I can't wait for All Stars 4 to come out because I already know she was showing out. But Dusty's sitting there saying that Bananas is his hero and he wants to learn from him and continue to learn from him, which is why he wants him to be there. And Bananas is shocked that he's aligned with Paulie and Dusty. Those are the 2 main people that he's aligned with. It's just like, yeah, because you got 2 dick eaters. They're like, they over there eating your shit, like eating it. The next scene we get, Desi. Desi's talking about how she's tired of hearing Bananas talk. She wants him up out of there. And she feels like Paulie can beat him. Michaela and Lewis agree. And they also think Josh might be the one to do it as well. Josh, absolutely not. Paulie should be able to beat him. But Josh is not. Just because Josh is big don't mean that he going to beat him. Because Josh is big and goofy and unathletic. and stupid. But let's keep on moving. But Desi don't care. She just want Bananas gone. She don't care who it is that goes in there. She just want him out of there. I agree. Paulie's sitting there saying that he's letting Bananas know that they're trying to split the votes between Josh and Paulie to go in there against him. Amanda's just saying that she hopes that there's more balls in there than more men's balls in there than girls, because the more men balls in there, lessens the chances of her getting picked to go into the elimination. So Amanda's just looking out for Amanda. That's nothing new. That's how it is. But after that, Paulie starts talking about how he's more inclined to help out Bananas, but keeps thinking about how they hate each other. And it's like, do you really hate him, or are you just like trying to put on a show to get yourself camera time? It's like you know deep down inside you probably love that man all your life, and you are so excited that he's finally giving you the attention that you wanted. And we'll get on that later. But Dusty's thinking about spreading the votes between Monte and Tyler because he thinks that Bananas can beat them. I guess because of his seniority and how many times he's played this game, but essentially looking at Monte, not a fan of him at all. But if you give him something physical, Bananas is not beating him. Tyler is athletic. Give him something quick, endurance-wise, he's not beating him. Even mentally, he's not beating either one of them. I don't like Monte, but he's not stupid. And Tyler's actually not stupid either. So it's not a cakewalk the way Dusty thinks it is, which is shocking because you would think he would know that. But the secret vote happens. The only thing that was really notable is Amanda voting Monte in, who was on her team. Amanda is just always doing something that is just shaking the vote. But Banana's talking about how he feels like a rookie in his direct-to-camera. All that, just stupid. But they ended up heading to the arena. The Hopper names end up getting revealed. We got Josh. Josh got 2 votes. I wish it was more. Tyler got 3 votes. Chanelle got 1. She's the only girl in there that got a vote. Paulie got 3. Monte got 5. TJ ends up sending Amanda back up because Bananas is going in, and he's going in against Paulie, which is interesting because Paulie had 3 votes, but Monte had the most with 5, which shows you it's anybody in there. Anybody can go in there. But Amanda's excited because she gets to go back to the house and lay down next to Tori every single night and let her know that she's still there. Like, she wants to rub it in at all times, being a literal menace. But Bananas was talking about how he wanted Monte to go down there because he wanted to make a statement saying, like, if I beat the biggest dude here, you don't want to come for me. Like, that don't mean nothing, Bananas. We already know, like, your resume should speak for itself saying you don't want to come for me. But you forgot that you're not playing with a bunch of punks. Like, you're playing with some rookies that are actually trying to win the game, not give you the money to split like y'all always do. But the elimination is called Fire and Ice. It's 2 blocks of ice on both ends of the arena. They're on the ice, holding their arm up in the air, connected to a bucket of some fish guts. So they can't move the arm. If they do end up moving their arm, the guts come down and then they lose. So, and they also have this beanbag on the side, well, multiple beanbags on the side that they can throw at this little target. And with them throwing at the target, that is going to turn the torch on underneath the ice to make the ice start to melt. And if they ended up hitting it and the torch was on their side, if they hit the target, it turns theirs off but turns on the opponents. So that's cool. I like the elimination. So it ended up happening. They go back and forth the whole time. And it got to the point where Bananas ended up hitting his, which turned Paulie's torch on and turned his off. Paulie had the last beanbag, threw it, missed. So now his is still burning while Bananas is just standing over there while his is not melting anymore. So essentially, Paulie was set up and he was going to lose because he missed. And that's on Paulie. And after 38 minutes, that's what happened. He lost. Bananas ends up hugging him, telling him how good of a competitor he was. And Paulie is sitting in his confessionals crying because he's happy that he finally got that respect and he now feels like he's a challenger. This is the type of shit that y'all be wanting? Like, really? You are that pressed for somebody's respect and you're that, you acting like he's God. Like, that's the problem. These people too busy trying to make the challenge their life and make it their career, that you're literally, you acting like you won the Olympics. You acting like you're a world champion. You're happy because Bananas, a grown 40-year-old man by the name of Bananas, Johnny Bananas, a reality TV star that ain't put no money in your bank account, told you that you were a great competitor. Paulie, don't ever return back. I don't want to see him ever again, especially if you acting like that. But that's my thoughts. I tried to wrap it up as quickly as possible and did it in 20 minutes. Let me know what y'all think. Drop your comments down below. I'm going to try to jump in there with y'all this time. I've seen y'all's messages, comments. I'm going to try and jump in with y'all soon. But yeah, drop them down below. Follow me on my socials, and I will see y'all on Sunday. Peace.